Council. Very interesting. Listening at a lot of the concerns. It's good to sit back in the back and have the questions directed to you guys. I glad Elmer Say is still here because there has been significant misinformation about the justification over recent salary increases of some officials in my administration. First, it should be pointed out that these recent raises were approved in March and April of 2007, when budget forecasts were much better than today. And regardless of economic conditions, these raises were necessary to attract and to retain the best talent to help the city rebound from decades of mismanagement. We can't afford to move ahead without attracting and retaining top talent to do a very difficult job. Furthermore, many of these directors were brought in not at high salaries, but lower ones. They've increased with demonstrated performance. Some increases were also a part due to the expansion of their responsibilities and duties. The new salary levels are more in line, but still below, and in some cases, far below, their counterparts in Henrico and Chesterfield at almost every single position. You know, Richmond is treated as if we are just an island surrounded by others. And lots of the criticism that comes to Richmond, for some reason, flies over, doesn't hit other people. Oh, look at these salary increases. Look at the salaries these people are being paid in Richmond. Let's look and see what they're being paid other places. Now we are more competitive, but we remain in most cases below those of our county counterparts. In Richmond, the chief administrative officer makes $170,000. In Henrico, $239,000. Newspapers say, well, you know, he's been there longer. Okay, money is money. Chesterfield, $214,000. In Richmond, the director of public utilities, $137,000. Chris Bachelor, one of the best you can get anywhere. Would you want me to fire him? Raise your hands. Not a soul is going to say that. In Henrico, director of public utilities, $146,000. Listen, Elmer, I want you to be hearing this. Chesterfield, the director of public utilities makes $136,000. Economic development director in Richmond, $125,000. Henrico, $164,000. Chesterfield, $179,000. Our chief of police in Richmond makes the same thing that the chief of police in Henrico makes, $165,000. Why? We gave him additional monies. Why? To keep him. I don't mind telling you that. Chesterfield is $158,000. You think they got the same crime problems in Chesterfield we got in Richmond? And human resources director in Richmond is $115,000. In Henrico, it's $172,000. In Chesterfield, it's $120,000. Every single issue. Now, it's worth noting that both Henrico and Chesterfield have 3 deputy county managers each. 3. In Chesterfield, their average salary is $166,000. In Henrico, their average is $168,000. In Richmond, the equivalent of a deputy county manager can be found in the positions of chief financial officer, who now earns $155,000, and the deputy chief administrative officer for human services, who now earns $130,000. Together, these positions average $143,000, which is more than $20,000 less than similar positions in the counties. But when you consider that the chief financial officer also serves as now he's the deputy of finance in terms of chief financial officer for the city, but he's also the director of finance, which is two jobs within one position and one salary. We also have the advertisement out for that job, which we never filled. And our chief of police, I've asked him to head the city's truancy program with our schools, with juvenile services. That's why you see the reduction in truancy in our schools, because our chief of police took on another job. Who do you think head the jails task force? Our chief of police, who's bringing all of the recommendations. Man signs on to be chief of police. Why didn't the other chief of police do that when he was here before? Or if you knew anything that that chief of police did when he was here before. And our people are not only well qualified and educated, but they bring a diverse array of experience to Richmond from elsewhere that would help us achieve our future. They come from Harvard, UVA, VCU, University of Connecticut, and other prestigious schools. They've worked hard to earn master's degrees and postgraduate degrees in their fields of expertise, and they've worked in other cities and regions that are run efficiently or undergone dramatic and positive change. They've also come over from the private sector a couple of times for less pay because they know the challenge that confronts our city's future and want to be a part of it. In short, these are not people we just picked out of a crowd just to fill the vacancy. They have extensive knowledge and expertise, and their resumes are filled with experience that is valuable to this city because they understand their respective disciplines far more than you and I could ever hope to understand. We've been fortunate enough to assemble this great team of directors that are helping change our city. And so I think it's vital that we keep them here in the city because they're not easily replaced. Good directors don't grow on trees, and they've always been willing to uproot and move to a new city. Every time we lose a director to a better paying position, we lose valuable time in reforming and reshaping this city's future. Keeping our team in place and their performance and ability merit raising their salaries to the level of their county equivalents. I heard Mr. Say, quote, comparing us to other places in the state. I wonder why they didn't compare us to the counties. Would have been easy. All you got to do is reach over, touch over, and say it. Didn't do it. Must have been a reason. I don't know what it was.